Welcome to the deep dive. We've got the latest communication stack from Southeastern Indiana, REMC, right here. All their updates, service changes, the whole lot. It's definitely more than just keeping the lights on these days. So, our goal today is simple. We'll cut through it all for you, pull out the key info you actually need. We're talking potential savings, community stories, and, well, how this co-op is really changing things up.
Yeah, and looking through this material, there are really two big themes that stand out. First, this major shift in how they communicate and deliver services, going digital, expanding fiber, that whole thing. And second, a real focus on the benefits for you, the member owner. Think efficiency, being prepared for outages, and how they're impacting things locally. It's like watching a traditional utility become, well, a modern tech provider.
Okay, let's start with that first theme, the communication shift. Big news here. The printed Indiana Connection magazine. The November 2025 issue is the last one. That's going to be a change for folks who've gotten that in the mail for years.
It is a significant change. But the reasoning seems pretty clear when you look at the finances and the alternatives.
It came down to cost, didn't it?
Overwhelmingly, yes. They were really upfront about it. That printed magazine cost about $6 per member every single year, just for printing and postage.
Wow, $6 a head, multiply that by what, nearly 30,000 electric members? That adds up incredibly fast.
Exactly. Now, the replacement is their monthly digital magazine, REMC Connect. And the cost to publish and send that out, zero. Nothing.
$0. That's a huge swing.
It is. They're saving thousands of dollars each year. And the key point they make is that money isn't just vanishing. It's being put back into programs and services that actually benefit members directly. Yeah, it's a pretty smart financial move.
Plus, the digital format means faster news, right? More timely updates, maybe longer stories than they could fit in print.
Yeah, exactly. They can be much more current. So it feels like a win-win. Members get information faster, maybe more in depth, and the co-op saves significant money to reinvest.
All right, speaking of reinvesting, let's talk about SEI Fiber. It's still kind of amazing that a rural electric co-op is now a major player in high-speed internet.
It really tracks back to their original mission from, 1939? Bringing essential services out to these communities. Back then it was electricity. Now it's clearly broadband. And they aren't messing around. They just launched this new top-tier offering, the 2 gig Platinum package. We're talking serious speed for households running everything at once, work from home, streaming, smart devices, the works.
2 gigs, that's incredibly fast, and they're including hardware with that.
This is interesting. The 2 gig Platinum comes with a free Wi-Fi mesh extender. That helps ensure you actually get that speed throughout your whole house, not just next to the router. That's a decent value add.
Okay, so what's the cost look like for that kind of speed?
Well, the standard price is about $150 a month. But if you sign a 2-year contract, it drops to roughly $110 a month. That $40 difference is pretty substantial savings each month.
That's a big incentive to commit. And they did something similar for the 1 gig plan too, right?
They did. The 1 gig premium package now also includes that free mesh extender. So they're definitely pushing people towards the higher speeds with that hardware bundle.
They still have the lower tiers, like 100 meg and 500 meg.
Oh, yeah. The basic and plus options are still there. But for those, the mesh extender is an add-on. Costs you extra per month. Seems like the free extender is the hook for the premium and platinum levels.
So how does this massive fiber build-out connect back to them being a cooperative?
That's the core difference they always highlight, the cooperative connection. SEI Fiber isn't like the big telecom companies focused solely on quarterly profits for distant investors. It's member-owned, not for profit. Any revenue generated beyond operational costs stays local. It goes into maintaining the system, building it out further, and eventually it gets returned to the members as capital credits. Yeah. It's a totally different financial model.
And the scale is impressive. You mentioned the electric lines earlier. How does the fiber network compare?
The numbers are striking. They manage about 3,500 miles of electric line, but they've already built over 2,200 miles of fiber line. Think about that the fiber network is already approaching 2/3 the size of their established electric grid. That shows just how serious and, frankly, how aggressive this fiber deployment has been.
Okay, we've covered communication and speed. Let's shift gears to saving money and staying safe, especially with winter coming. There are some deadlines folks need to know about.
Yes, absolutely. First big one, that Generac whole home generator program. If you've been on the fence about getting backup power for your home,
now's the time to decide.
Pretty much. They specifically flagged December 31st, 2025 as the deadline to lock in the current pricing. There's a price increase coming January 1st, 2026. So acting before year end saves you money on that initial purchase.
Good heads up. Keeps the lights, heat, everything running during an outage. Makes sense. What about saving energy day to day?
They're really pushing the mini-split heat pump rebate. These are those ductless units you see, right? Great for zoned heating and cooling and generally quieter.
I like the idea of not needing ductwork. Less dust, more control room by room. What are the rebates?
They're pretty decent. Up to $500 back if you install a whole home system, or $300 back for just a single room unit. It fits into their bigger beat the peak strategy.
Ah, yes. Beat the peak. That's all about shifting when you use electricity, right? Using less during those high demand times.
Exactly. When everyone's using power at once, it puts a strain on the grid and costs more. So shifting usage helps everyone. And they have programs to help you do that. Things like free smart thermostats, special time of day rates, and that Connect to Save program.
Makes sense. And while we're talking home stuff, they included some crucial safety tips, especially for Thanksgiving cooking season.
Yeah, good reminders. Keep appliance cords away from hot stovetops. Seems obvious, but easy to forget when things get busy.
And the big one, never ever use water on an electrical fire. Use a proper fire extinguisher.
Crucial. Also, test your GFCI outlets. Those are the ones with the test your set buttons, usually in kitchens and baths before you start plugging in all the holiday appliances.
Good advice. And one more timely reminder. Daylight saving time ends November 2nd. They had a neat suggestion for using that extra hour.
Yeah, instead of just sleeping in, use it productively. Change your air filters, check your smoke and CO detector batteries, maybe tweak your thermostat settings for the season.
Or even take a look at your energy use patterns in their Smart Hub app, or if you have one of those Emporia monitors they offer, kind of a mini home efficiency checkup.
Exactly. Use that found hour wisely.
All right, let's bring it back to the people behind the power lines and fiber cables, the community aspect. They talked about governance, too.
Right, the democratic control piece. Members actually govern the cooperative. And related to that, they're looking for members right now to serve on the nominating committee.
What's that for?
It's for the 2026 director elections. They need members from districts 1, 7, and 8 to help identify candidates for the board. It's how they ensure the leadership reflects the actual membership.
Important role. Is there a deadline for that?
There is. November 30th, 2025. So if you're in one of those districts and interested in getting involved in co-op governance, you need to apply soon. And it seems like member voices are being heard. The CEO, Keith Matthews, mentioned feedback from a recent study. Members want clearer communication, especially about outages and programs, and they're working on that.
That's good to hear. They also featured a really nice member spotlight, Dawn and Debbie Stutz from At the Barn Winery.
Oh, yeah, great story there in Logan, Indiana, celebrating 50 years of marriage, which is amazing in itself.
And they turned his great-grandfather's old barn, built in 1870, into their winery back in 2013. That's fantastic.
Isn't that they grow like 14 different kinds of grapes, winning national awards. They even have one called Horizontal that's a bestseller. It's just a perfect example of that deep local connection.
And that local focus extends to their grant program too, right? Operation Roundup.
Absolutely. That's funded by members who choose to round up their bill each month. Pennies add up. They just gave a $2,500 grant to the Versailles American Legion Post 173.
What's the grant for?
It supports the Legion's annual Christmas program, where they give bicycles and grocery gift cards to local families in need. It's direct community support.
And there's another connection there, isn't there, between the Legion Post and REMC?
Yeah, several of the Legion members are actually SEI REMC employees, linemen, technicians. So they're serving the community both on and off the clock. It really shows that commitment.
That's great. And just quickly, they also spotlighted an employee, Kaylee Benham, a member services rep. Her goal, be the light in someone's day.
Nice sentiment. Ties back nicely to the whole service idea. Hashtag tag outro.
So pulling all this together, what's the big picture for you as a member or even just someone watching how rural services are evolving? It seems SEI REMC is moving fast, cutting old costs like print, investing heavily in future tech like 2-gig fiber, but at the same time, really doubling down on being a local, community-focused organization that's actually governed by the people it serves.
I think that's exactly right. If you connect the dots, that shift from print to digital isn't just saving money. It seems like it's funding the future. It's freeing up resources to build out that essential digital infrastructure in areas that might otherwise be left behind. It's like they're fulfilling that original 1939 co-op mission, but updating it for today, where power means both reliable electricity and reliable high-speed internet. It's a pretty deliberate strategy.
It really is. Okay, let's leave you with a final thought to chew on, something that came up in their materials. The idea of member gratitude. They mentioned how important it is for employee morale and trust, reminding the crews their work matters. So think about it. These folks are out there in storms, restoring power, they're deploying complex fiber networks. How much real impact, how much power does a simple thank you from a member actually generate? Maybe more than we realize in keeping that whole system running smoothly. Something to consider next time you see one of their trucks out. That wraps up this deep dive. We hope sorting through all that gave you some useful insights into what's happening at SEI REMC.
Yeah, definitely food for thought. Always good to understand where your service dollars are going and how these organizations operate. Until next time.